There's a lot of loops in this hobby, but most people are only aware of a handful of them and might want to try something different. So in this video, I'm gonna explain every loop I was able to find and get info from, so let's get right into it. There's also subtitles in English and Spanish, so you might want to toggle those on. First off, we're gonna start with the most known loop and the one with the most versatility. That's right, G-loop. Nah, I'm playing. Crytox 205 Grid 0. This is a loop that everyone knows, doesn't matter if you just started in the hobby or if you've been in here for a while. It has a thickness of 4, 5 being grease and 1 being oil, and it's perfect for a variety of parts, ranging from switches to PCBs. Yeah, some people loop their Topre PCBs. Don't ask me why. It's a long-lasting loop that's cheap, easy to find anywhere, and that you can use for pretty much everything. It may decrease the bump feel on some tactile switches, so take that into account. With its thickness of 3, being thinner than 205, it's preferred by many for their switches, as it maintains the switch sound signature due to its thinness. This is still a pretty known loop, but mostly used for tactile switches, or Topre. You can also use it for the springs, but I haven't seen anyone do that personally. That's right, 04 younger brother. As opposed to it, this loop is thinner, and also preferred by many for their tactile and Topre ports. Everything I've said about 3 to 04 also applies to this one, as it is the same thing, but with less thickness. Now we get into the less known stuff. This loop consists of a mix between Crytox 206 Grade 2 and GPL 106 oil. The original Korean mixture was lost, so the community replaced it with a different one. The two more popular ones being a 7-3 mixture and a 10-3 mixture, the former one being the thickest, as it has a higher proportion of grease. It's normally used for switches, but I'd imagine you can also use it for stabs and Topre. People use this loop over 205 as it helps particularly well with cherry switches, making them smoother without changing much of the sound signature. As of the recording of this video, I could only find this loop on United States, Canada and Australia vendors. If you're per se someone from Europe, you'll have to get it imported, which can make it way pricier than other loops. I was unable to find much info about this loop, and I could only find it in the syringe packaging form, thus making it convenient for stabilizers. You can also use it for linear and tactile switches, but it will be thicker than most loops and proner to overlooping. This loop is barely used nowadays, and I've personally never known anyone that uses it until the research for this video. There's also some variants like GS1 and GS3, but I wasn't bothered to look into them, seeing the obscureness of this one. Starting in the oil territory, first we have Crytox GPL 105. Not much to say about it. You can use it for springs, and yeah, that's it. Most vendors have it available, but it can get expensive if you use a lot of it over time. I was debating between classifying this as an oil or a loop, but I don't think it's thick enough for the loop standards, so I'll just put it here. It's not as straightforward as a loop or an oil, as you need to apply different layers and they have curtain in between, making it a long and quite tedious process. It is a dry loop, applied wet like a thin loop, with a bonding agent that dries at room temperature and bonds to plastic. Noticeable results have been reported with one coat, but unless you're planning to do multiple, most people advise against using it due to its complexity and time-consuming application. With a thickness of 2, you can also use this oil for switches, I'm pretty sure. Like, really, why would you use this for switches? It's better for dampening noisy springs, but may not be compatible without plastics, as it is silicone-based. You can also call this just Superloop 5100X, because the number at the end just indicates the quantity of it, as in 4 ounces or 8 ounces. This is an easy to find oil that's also inexpensive and can work as an alternative for GPL 105 without spending much in the long term. Another sibling of the 205, but this time in a grease form. This is a really thick paste that's used for stub wires, and that's easy to apply as the loop stays where you apply it, as in not moving once placed. Some people reported that it makes their stubs feel sluggish. It's also quite expensive, and not the cheapest option for someone that's starting out in the hobby. This is a cheaper alternative to XHT BTC, and one of the most used greases for stabilizers. This is a bang for the buck. Like, I'm not even kidding when I say that you can buy a tube for $15 on Amazon and just use this back and forth without running out of it. It's also pretty easy to find, being available on Amazon in most countries. Watch out though, as it can melt in high humidity and temperature places. If your room meets these two requirements, you might wanna stick with XHT or 205, just in case. I couldn't find much info about this one, but decided to include it as it is a cheaper alternative to 205. You can also inject this into stubs with a syringe and stuff like that, just like 205. But it can be hard to find and even more expensive, depending on where you live. If you can get your hands easily on one of these, I'd give it a try, but if not, I wouldn't bother. And that's the video. I skipped over some loops like Crytox 206 Grid 2, GPL 107, 106, and Shin-Etsu G40 and G501, as I don't think there's enough interest on them, and there's not much I can add that you can't find online, or on other loops that I've already mentioned. Huge thanks to Reddit user Avalar for the insight into some of the more unknown loops mentioned in this video. He didn't ask me to shout him out, but if you are in the USA, you might wanna check out his modding and looping service, seeing he knows a thing or two about loops. I'm MicroKips, and until the next one.